Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Adab. Hello, my dear student of class 9 of Chittagong Government High School. Welcome all of you to Chittagong Government High School online class. I think you all are fine, keeping yourself in your home in this pandemic period, and you are now studying as well through online, and I think you are benefited a lot because our school authority arranged a lot of classes, a lot of online classes for the students of various stages. Okay, so I think you are very lucky and you are going to use the opportunity very well. Okay, my dear young learners. Today, I'm going to conduct a class with the student of class 9. Before going to the class, I would like to introduce myself as well. As you know, that I'm Muhammad Abu Tahir, Assistant Teacher, Chittagong Government High School, Chittagong. And today I'm going to conduct a class for the student of class 9, and the subject is English first paper. So I have chosen a page from your EFT book, which is very important for you, my dear lovely boys. What topics we are going to learn? Do you know? Okay, fine. I'm going to disclose it. At first, I'm going to show your lovely book here on the screen. As you can see on the screen, English for today, classes 9 and 10, the colorful book for you. And the topic is Unit 6, Our Neighbors. As a person, we have some neighbors. That means who live our next door or our surrounding area. They are our neighbors, isn't it? But as a country, we have also some neighbors. That means neighboring countries. And you know that as the people of Bangladesh, as a citizen of Bangladesh, that means Bangladesh is situated in the South Asia. And in South Asia, there are a lot of countries. They are our neighbors, like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Maldives, Bhutan, etc. So today we are going to learn one of our neighbors, that means one of our neighboring countries, and this is the Maldives. As you can see on the screen, our today's topic is Lesson 3, the Maldives. Why I have chosen the Maldives as my topic for today? You know that Maldives is very important tourist place the of the whole world, and it is famous only for its tourism. Okay, the country depends spatially on tourism for their economy. So it is very it is going to be very interesting to learn about Maldives. Okay, my dear young learners, I am going to request you to collect your kata and pen, please. Then, whenever you see something important, and never forget to write down, note down. Okay, very good. So, let me show the next. Look at the picture, the beautiful scenery, the beautiful picture of Maldives, and it is taken from the satellite. As I told earlier, that Maldives is a beautiful country surrounded by Indian Ocean. Okay, it's an island, and uh, I have to add that Maldives is the total of some islands. It's a little country, but there are a lot of islands here, and the scenery, the natural beauty of Maldives is unmatched. Okay, endless. So I think uh, it's going to be very interesting to learn about Maldives. As you can see on the screen, the stunning picture of Maldives. Okay, so at first, I'm going to show some learning outcomes. What is the learning outcomes of today's lesson? What are the learning outcomes of today's lessons? That means after learning the lesson, the students will be known about their neighbors. That means you will know about your neighbors. Okay, my dear student, this is the first learning outcome. And the second one is you will understand the culture and heritage of your neighbors. Okay, what type of culture and heritage they bear? That means your neighbor, especially Maldives, culture and heritage, you will know. Okay, then third one is young learners can compare with their own country. That means you can compare with your own country. Okay, what is the similarities and dissimilarities between Bangladesh and Maldives? Okay, then you will be able to make various type of answers. Students, that means you will be inspired to visit your neighboring countries, and at last you will be able to work for the betterment of your neighbors as well as their own country. That means as your own country, and you should work for uh, tying the relationship between your neighbors, okay, among your neighbors. Can you understand? So today's lesson is very important. For this reason, I am going to request you again to enjoy my class with full attention or enthusiasm. Okay, my dear student, very good. Now, look at the screen. Look at the map of South Asia and the position of Maldives. I'm going to show the map of South Asia and the position of Maldives is pointed here, so you can realize or you can find out the situation of Maldives. Okay, there is the map of South Asia. South Asia is written here on the right top part of the map, and you can see Maldives here. Maldives, this is Maldives, and the neighboring countries of Maldives. As I told earlier that Bangladesh is one of the neighbors of Maldives. So Bangladesh is situated here. Maldives, Sri Lanka is the closest or nearest neighbor. Then India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal, and Bhutan. The countries of South Asia is also pointed out on the map. How many countries in South Asia? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is a learning. That means we have 8 countries in South Asia, and Maldives is one of them. Okay, now are you clear? Very good. So let me show the next slide. Look at the picture. Look at the picture and feel how nice the scenery of Maldives is. How beautiful, how stunning the scenery of Maldives is. Okay, can you understand? Can you look at? Fine. And I'm going to show the flag of Maldives. This is the flag of Maldives. As our own flag, they have their own. This is the flag of Maldives. And the currency, one of the currencies of Maldives, the name of the currency is Rupiah. Okay. Then the present president of Maldives, the name of the present president of Maldives is Ibrahim Mohammed Salih. Okay, so look at the picture very carefully. The first picture is the total scenario of Maldives. And in the second picture, then with the upper part, you can see the flag of Maldives. And in the middle, there is the currency of Maldives, Rupiah, and the president of Maldives is Ibrahim Mohammed Salih is shown in the last slide or last picture. Okay, can you understand? Okay, fine. Now, go next. Interesting facts about Maldives. This is very important. What are the interesting facts about Maldives? And I want to mention here that all are the things shown in my slides. That means interesting facts. Then before the interesting facts about Maldives, what I shown in my slides, in my video, that are not mentioned or that are not pointed out in your book. Okay, but it is very important to understand, to realize the importance of Maldives. Why the importance of Maldives? It is very important. And we have to know uh, those things for to know our neighbors clearly. Okay, so look at the interesting facts about Maldives. The first one is, of the 1,190 islands in the Maldives, how many islands in Maldives? 1,190 islands. In the Maldives, only 200 are inhabited. That means people live in 200 islands, and the rest of the islands used as private or luxury resorts. Okay, an additional 80 islands host private or luxury resorts, and rest of them are not inhabited. Okay, so uh, this is very important fact about Maldives. You should know. Number two, the Maldives is the flattest country in the world. Flattest country in the world. Can you understand? This is the number two, interesting facts number two. Number three, this is very important point about Maldives. And Maldives is famous in the whole world for this reason, especially for this reason, because it was for the first time the people of the whole world know that uh, why Maldives is very important. Look at the point. In 2009, the Cabinet of Maldives held an underwater meeting, making the Maldives the first country in the world to place a governmental meeting on scuba. Appropriately, the cabinet meeting highlighted the climate change. Many Maldivians fear that as the climate continues to change and sea level rise, they will soon find themselves underwater. Okay, look at the picture. This is the picture. That means the cabinet of Maldives held their meeting underwater. Can you look at the picture? This is very interesting. This is for the first time. A cabinet meeting was held under water, and they attracted the attention of the whole world by this. So, uh, Maldives, whenever you are talking with Maldives about Maldives, and you have to say this point. Okay. Now, the last one, the Maldives is the smallest Muslim country in the world. Smallest Muslim country in the world. And uh, can I ask you a question? Which one is the uh, largest Muslim country in the world? Can you make the answer? Okay, fine. That means Indonesia is the largest Muslim country in the world. And on the other hand, the Maldives is the smallest Muslim country in the world. Um, my dear student, my dear lovely boys, I'm going to request all of you to to note down the facts, interesting facts about Maldives. 4 point I have discussed here, I have shown here. Number one, Maldives has 1,190 islands, and only 200 are inhabited, and 80 islands host private luxury resorts. And the Maldives is the flattest country in the world. And in 2009, a cabinet meeting was held underwater, and the Maldives is the smallest Muslim country in the world. Okay, fine. Now, look at the keyword. Whenever we go through the passage, we have to face some new words, keywords. So I'm going to discuss with some new keyword. Keyword number one. Look at the keyword number one. And this is coral. What is coral? Coral, what parts of the species coral? This is a noun word. And the meaning is given here. The hard, stony skeleton of a Mediterranean coral that has a delicate red or pink color and used for jewelry. If you look at the picture, you can easily understand what is coral. Look at the picture. Coral is also displayed on the screen. So I think if you visit Saint Martin Island, I think you also looked this type of coral here. Okay, this is keyword one, coral. Now, keyword two, the keyword two is lagoon. Lagoon is a noun word, and the meaning is given here. A stretch of salt water separated from the sea by a low sandbank or coral reef. Look at the picture and you can see lagoon there. Okay, this is the lagoon picture of lagoon. Okay, now can you realize? Fine. My dear young boys, keyword number three. What is keyword number three? Idyllic. Idyllic is an adjective, and the meaning is like an idle, extremely happy, peaceful, or picturesque. And the synonyms are wonderful, blissful. Okay, this is idyllic. Keyword number four. What is keyword number four? Tsunami. I think the word tsunami is familiar to you. And this is a noun word. And the meaning is a large wave caused by extreme conditions such as an earthquake. This is the tsunami. And I think you also know this, the word, also heard this word, because our world is also experienced the tsunami. Okay, so it is a familiar word to us. Now, keyword number five. What is keyword number five? Look, cabinet. What is cabinet? Cabinet is a noun word, and the meaning is given here. The committee of senior ministers responsible for controlling government policy. As you can see, in Bangladesh, we have a cabinet also. The leader of cabinet is our present Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina, and a lot of ministers are also in the cabinet. And then look at the synonym. Synonyms are administration or authority. Okay. Okay, fine. Those are the keywords. I think you can now, whenever you go through the passage, you can easily understand it and can make the answer of the exercise. Let's read the passage. Okay? Very good. Now look at the screen, lesson 3, the Maldives. Okay. Discuss the questions in pairs. You can also practice it in your home. Okay. Now I'm going to read the passage given below. Okay, my dear student, now please listen to my reading and try to remember them. And after my reading, try to make the answers of the exercise. Okay? Look, can I start now? Fine. The Republic of Maldives is an island country in the Indian Ocean. It has 1,199 islands that are clustered into 26 major atolls. Okay. An atoll is a ring-shaped coral reef or a string of closely spaced coral islands. The natural coral reefs of the Maldives are surrounded by the sea all around and stand out as a pearl in the Indian Ocean. The Maldives is the eighth smallest country in the world with an area of only 300 square kilometer. It is the smallest Asian country in terms of population and size. If you can see or if you read the passage very well, then you can discover that the number of the island in the book is given here 1199, but in Google we can see some other numbers. But you can write anyone. Okay. Then look here in the second part of the passage. People have been living on the islands of the Maldives for nearly 3,000 years. They set sail from different parts of the world: Asia, Arabia, Europe, and America, to come to these islands. The earliest settlers of the Maldives were probably from southern part and Sri Lanka, who came to these islands in the 4th and 5th centuries BC. In the 12th century AD, sailors from East Africa and Arab countries came to the Maldives. As a result, the Maldivians, who were originally Buddhists, were converted to Sunni Islam in the mid 12th century. In 1344, Ibn Battuta, a famous Arabian historian and scholar, traveled around the Maldives. In the 16th century, the Portuguese conquered the Maldives and ruled the country for 15 years. Although governed as an independent Islamic sultanate for most of its history from 1153 to 1968. The Maldives was a British colony from 1887 to 1965. Following independence from Britain in 1965, the Sultanate continued to operate for another 3 years. On November 11, 1968, the Sultanate was abolished and replaced by a republic, and the country assumed its present name. The Maldives is famous as a tourist destination because of its pleasant weather, heavenly beaches and lagoons, luxurious holiday resorts, and the beach-loving people. The Maldives was ranked as the best country for the beautiful beaches and facilities for recreation in 2008. The Maldives is well known for being the lowest country in the world. Unfortunately, this small country with idyllic natural beauty is under threat from rising sea levels due to global warming. Most of the country is just 1.5 meters above sea level, with the highest point of 2.3 meters. Many predictions have been made with respect to Maldives being swept away by the rising water level in the Indian Ocean. When the power tsunami of 2004 hit the island nation, many of the island's dry piers were flooded by the sea water. The government of the Maldives has begun to purchase land from nearby countries for resettling its people in case the islands go under water. In order to highlight the threats of global warming to its low-lying islands, the government of Maldives held a cabinet meeting underwater in 2009. As you can see on the picture and as you told earlier. Okay, that was the first ever underwater cabinet meeting in the world. The meeting took place about 5 meters underwater in a blue-green lagoon on a small island. While underwater, the cabinet signed a document calling on all nations to cut their carbon emissions. My dear lovely boys, I think you all enjoyed the passage very well. Now, let me show some exercise. Look at the exercise given here. Exercise 1. Ask and answer the questions. Number 1, please write down the answer in your khata or notebook. Then, whenever I show the answer, you have to check your answer with me. Okay? The first one, what is an atoll? The answer is also given in the passage. Okay? Now, number 2, how many countries in the world are smaller than Maldives in size? Number 3, when was Islam introduced in the Maldives? Number 4, what makes the Maldives an ideal place for the tourists? Number 5, what dangers of climate change might affect the Maldives? 6, do you support the idea of having a cabinet meeting underwater? What could be the reason for holding such a strange meeting? Okay? Start writing the answer, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now check your answer with me. My dear student, look at the answer. Number 1. An atoll is a rising shaped coral or reef or a string of closely spaced coral islands. Number 2, 7 countries in the world are smaller than Maldives in size because it is the eighth smallest country. Yeah. Number 3, Islam was introduced in the Maldives in the mid 12th century AD. 4, its enjoyable weather, heavenly beaches and lagoons, luxurious holiday resorts, and the beach-loving people make the Maldives an ideal place for the tourists. Number 5, the dangers of climate change, which might affect the Maldives, are the rising of the sea level and floods caused by it, which will sweep the islands in the Indian Ocean. Number 6, yes, I support the idea of having a cabinet meeting underwater. The reason that could be for holding such a strange meeting is to make people of the world concerned about the dangers that may affect the Maldives for global warming. Okay, this is the answer. So I think uh, you can now you can understand if you are right or not. Okay, my dear student. Now let me show exercise number 2. There is exercise number 2. It is a gap filling activity, and it is there. A table is shown on the screen, so you have to fill in the gaps, several gaps in the table. Look at the table. Complete the table with no more than 2 words and or numbers, time and facts. I'm going to read the table. You should write the answer. That means you should fill the gap. Okay. Time, facts. 4th and 5th centuries BC, the early inhabitants of the Maldives arrived and settled from southern India and Sri Lanka. 12th century, the sailors from African and Arab countries started to settle in the islands. Buddhism was dashed by Islam. Dash, a famous scholar and historian named Ibn Battuta visited the islands of the Maldives. 16th century, the Portuguese occupied the Maldives and became the dash of the country for 15 years. 1887, beginning of the British Dash era. Dash Maldives became independent from the British rule. 1968, end of Islamic Sultanate and Dash of the Republic of Maldives. Have you finished writing the answers, my dear boys? Okay. Dear young heroes, look at the answer, please. The table is also shown here. The first answer is replaced. That means the sailors from African and Arab countries started to settle in the islands. Buddhism was replaced by Islam. In 1344, a famous scholar and historian named Ibn Battuta visited islands of the Maldives. In 16th century, the Portuguese occupied the Maldives and became the rulers of the country for 15 years. In 1887, beginning of the British colonial era. In 1965, Maldives became independent from the British rule. 1968, end of Islamic Sultanate and beginning of the Republic of Maldives. Okay, this is the answer. I think now you can easily understand, or you can check your answer with me. Okay, now let me show the exercise number 3. Say if the statements are true or false, give the correct information in case of a false statement. Number 1. Only 7 countries in the world are smaller in size than the Maldives. It is true or false? Write down, please. Okay. Number 2. No other South Asian country, not century. In your book, it is a printing mistake. No other South Asian country has a population smaller than Maldives. Number 3. The islands of the Maldives were inhabited in the 12th century. Number 4. The Maldives was an independent Islamic sultanate from 1553 to 1968. The Maldives was ranked as the second best country for natural beauty in 2008. Okay, are you finished writing the answers? Okay, fine. Now, let me show the answers and please check your answer with me. Number 1 is true. Okay, it is correct. Number 2, true. Fine. Number 3, false. Correct answer will be the islands of the Maldives were inhabited in the 4th and 5th centuries BC. Number 4, true. And number 5, false. Correct answer will be the Maldives was ranked as the best country for natural beauty in 2008. Okay, my dear students, I think you can now uh, realize that the passage is not very difficult for you. Okay, so I'm going to give some homework. That means there is the homework for you. Homework. Suppose your younger sister is very keen to know about the Maldives. Keen, that means interested to know about the Maldives. Now write a letter informing her about the Maldives in detail. This is your homework. You have to write down the letter in your khata or notebook, and when your school will open, you should show it to your class teacher. Okay, my dear student. Okay, my dear learner. Okay, my dear young heroes. This is time to leap. So I have to say thanks all and bye. And before leaving, I should remember that you have to maintain the rules of health and hygiene because the pandemic situation is now going to be alarming and lockdown is increasing day by day. So you should keep yourself in your home and never try to come out. If you want to come out from your home, never forget to wear mask. Okay? You should maintain the rules of health and hygiene, and you should maintain social distancing. Okay, my dear boys. So I think uh, I have to say thanks again. Allah Hafiz.